I actually wanted to look up a Honda match. This is not me, and it's not Tonyo Yogurt. It's actually Olivo. Olivo is a player in Puerto Rico who's been strong for a long time. He's plays Ibuki, he's played other characters, Abigail, and he's been playing Honda. So I want to sort of see what he did. He played against Mono, and Mono's a very strong player, extremely good. Has been close to making Capcom Cup in the past. Runs first attack. They both work on it, but Mono's the lead dude. I've played against Mono online, and I got stomped. I wanted to see what Olivo's doing because they're training partners. So I want to investigate what's going on with that one. This is from an event that they had called Winter Clash over the weekend. So this is going to be G versus Honda. And my opinion, as I put it on Twitter, is that Honda beats G. Now, I think G is one of the best characters in the game, and I don't think that about Honda. Although I think Honda's stronger than most people think. Some people, even Honda players, think he's not very good. I think he's strong, but I would not tell you that I think he's like a top-tier character. But I do think he beats G. And I haven't watched this clip, but these are two players who I think are strong, and I'm hoping that this sort of shows why I think that. At least maybe hopefully it's not wild. The reason that I think that, in short, is that I think that G can't deal with EX butt slam, and I think that G doesn't deal very well with hands pressure, because G has good footsies buttons for like traditional footsies, but as far as buttons that deal with the where hands is and sort of the timings of hands, I think he's not one of the better ones in the game. And his own defensive options are poor, so Honda can really harass him. Now, nobody can beat G badly, right? The worst G loses something is a little bit, because his V-trigger is just so explosive. He's just so... If he ever gets those 3 red bars, you have to respect him. He controls the match. So you can't dominate G. But I do think that Honda does pretty well against G. And yeah, I think it's because... Fireball from G I think is not very important, just because of butt slam and Honda's neutral jump fierce and other tools to get around it. I don't think the regular anti-airs that G has are terribly important in the matchup either. I play it all the time. It's one of the matchups that I play the most. And I played against some players who've done well in tournaments, some strong players. And doesn't go that great for them. Alright. Okay, there we go. Well, at least Mono's got the good color. These guys play each other all the time, by the way. They're like major training partners. So this is not going to be a matchup where Mono gets caught off guard by anything that Honda does. Like, he definitely knows the character well. Yeah, he's just got to hold that. He just can't deal with that. I mean, some characters have EXDPs they can do. Some characters have parries they can do. G is stuck. But this is the thing, right? So Olivo has the life lead. As soon as this V-trigger comes out, oh, he just screwed up. Activate probably, yeah. Oh, there you go, that's hit confirm. As soon as V-trigger happens for G, all bets are off, and nobody deals with that great. Nobody wins that matchup versus V-trigger G. So, right, look at this, he just can't deal with it. Now, he can do backdash. Many characters can do backdash, but Honda can just as easily do a strength of hands that blows that up. He can just as easily do another butt slam. Yeah, this sometimes will catch people just to do regular hands. Oh, buddy. Oh, that's not a good combo. Olivo, what are you doing, my man? What are you doing? The 3 red bars are almost there. Oh, you gotta punish. It's all good. EX? Oh, come on. Oh, I'm Olivo. Come on, buddy. Yeah. So now that was his one V-reversal, and you basically get, a couple of V-reversals in this. Boy. But he's being super active. EX? EX? Oh, why the cross? Dude, no, you stood up? Oh, you could have juggled that. Okay, there you go. Alright. So, game number 1. Oh, you can't press spacebar and pause this thing? That's a bummer. Game number 1, I honestly feel like Olivo could have done a better combo in a couple situations. I feel like he could have pressured a little bit more strongly in a couple situations. But you do see this matchup knowledge for sure on Mono's side. And I think that this is important to show before we show the mashy hands clip and what actually happened there. This is not somebody who's coming into the G versus Honda matchup being like, I don't know what Honda does. What's he going to do? Oh no, hands. I've never seen hands before. Definitely not. Like, he knows what the character is about. He knows what the character does. And he still lost game 1. Let's see how it goes here. The G player has the hat. The G player is Mono, and he has a bison hat on. I'm telling you, man, butt slam. And again, I just don't think that Fireball's that important. Oh, here's the sequence. Here's the sequence. Do it again. Yes, you see... Yeah, okay, there it is. Genius. Genius. Oh, the whiff punish with hands. Let me tell you, that feels so good. When you do whiff punish with hands, because it's not... Hugo, it's not that you have on reaction done the whiff punish. At least I'm not. I'm not that much of a genius. Instead, I'm just thinking like, well, the opponent's probably going to press a button, so I'm going to do another hands, and hopefully it'll like punish their button. And that is what happened there. So let's back it up slightly. So why did this series happen? Honda's hands are advantaged if he does 5 hits. That's medium. It's +1. Jab is +2, 3 hits, and then 7 hits is fierce, which is -2 actually. But there are ranges where characters can't easily press an immediate button and take control. So notice the button timings that Mono uses when we go back through this. When he is... We speed up a little bit here? Yeah, here, this is where it starts. So you see that button, the crouching strong right there? That was immediate. That was an immediate crouching strong. Now, if he had done a later crouching strong, he would have beaten the hands here. Bam. So, tremendo. And then jab, which is free. But that was immediate. And so now because he gets hit, fierce hands are plus on hit, of course. And that means that it's Honda's turn to move again. The tool he uses, jab hands, is something that people can poke in between. So it's +2 on the fierce hands, and then it's 7 frames startup on the jab hands. You got a 5 frame window. So if Mono had done like stand short or something here, he probably would have beaten the jab hands, but this is the mix-up, and instead Mono tried to backdash, and he got hit for that. So then he tries the later button, right? I'm telling you, this guy knows the options. So he tries immediate strong, no. Tries the backdash, no. Tries the later button of stand medium kick, which gets beaten because he didn't get the right timing on it. Tries it again, and now he tries to jump back, which is just not great. Hugo, if you're gonna do a jump in that situation, it should be jump forward. Because Honda more likely wants to control your neutral jump and jump back. So, as you can see, the hands actually do have an anti-air hitbox on them. They actually do. And they do actually control things pretty well in the sky. And while some characters can definitely jump back and beat it, you know, can jump fierce, right? I mean, there's certainly some things that like angle downward enough that you can beat Honda hands, but most jump-ins in the game will get tagged in this way. And if Honda instead thinks, well, I shouldn't do another hands, the opponent's going to try to squirm or something, so here comes EX butt slam, right? And EX butt slam will definitely beat somebody trying to jump back, regardless of button. However, if the opponent jumps forward, depending on the spacing, they might jump over the EX butt slam. That's not likely, but it happens sometimes. And if the opponent does hands, and you've jumped over as G in the situation, then you can get a combo against Honda as he's like mashing hands in the corner, right? So jump forward is the tool here. But other than that, oops, let's go back to this. Other than that, this is definitely somebody who knows the tools, and you could definitely see that he tries to do them. But it's just a series of mix-ups. That's all, right? And so when people talk about how, oh, you can backdash out of Honda's pressure, you can press a button in between, that's true. but it's just a mix-up. And in each case, Honda has a counter to the thing that you want to do, and meanwhile, Honda's taking off a lot of your life. This was not a long period of time. This was, so it starts at 82 seconds, the hands pressure, right? And I mean, he's basically dead 10 seconds later, right? 11 seconds later, that's basically over. So this can happen very fast. Now, you might say, why didn't G do V reversal? So another reason that I think Honda does well versus G is that G needs V trigger in a way that most characters don't. I mean, some characters certainly want to save their V trigger, but this guy needs V trigger, especially if he needs a comeback, for sure. Because it's the best in the game. I think it's the number one V trigger in the game. So to give it up is to give up on the round. And Mono, I think properly, did not do V reversal here. If I ever play against a G and they do a V reversal, I'm thrilled. Especially if there's little life like this and they can't really practically get another V trigger before the end of the round. I'm thrilled to make them give up that red bar 100%. There's some matchups where that's not true. Some matchups where the opponent doesn't need their V trigger and so they're okay with giving up V reversal, and I, as the Honda, would rather not lose pressure because it's harder to get back in. This is not one of those matchups. This is a matchup where, like I said, G has trouble dealing with butt slam and EX butt slam. He has trouble dealing with hands pressure. So Honda can get back if he gets V reversaled and gets knocked down. Not that big of a deal. So I think Mono was right not to do V trigger, but he just guessed wrong 3 times or something, and he, lost. That's how it is. Oh boy. And the thing too is about EX butt slam and hands pressure. Even if the opponent blocks, you're taking off more damage than many characters' light attacks, honestly. You're always doing... This is real damage. Ooh. He's getting desperate. Wow! He pressed fierce? What in the world? Alright, we're gonna go back and check that one out. But look, this is always doable when G has V trigger. For sure. It's not over. I don't know who wins this. Oh, and you might have died. Yeah. It's a minus 26 move right there. Yeah. Is this enough, actually? Maybe not. No. Okay. Okay, nice work. Dude, I've just... Who goes Savinovich in the background there? So, let's head back a little bit, watch this one again. Oh, right to the very start, actually. So, when Honda does hands, it's always real damage. When he does EX butt slam, it's always real damage. So I don't think of those moves as being... It's not a loss if it's blocked. That's great if it's blocked. The only thing I don't want to have happen is for it to whiff, or, if the opponent has something that counters EX butt slam, like a parry, then, okay, I don't want that. I want it to hit for sure. But if it's against G, and, about probably half the characters in the game, I would say, maybe 40%, for it to be blocked is, what I want. If EX butt slam hits, well, that's better, because then I usually get pressure afterward. I've done more damage. Hey, look at this. I mean, that's legit right there. Oof. It's already lost 15% life. Or I guess including great damage. Oh, there it is right there. Ooh, no. This is a good punish. Nice work. Nice work. That is incredible. What in the... I don't know why he did fierce here, but I like it. I kind of think what happened here, and I don't know, I gotta ask Olivo, I guess, but I wonder if this was V reversal, and he thought he had it, because he's very close, as you can see, right? Check out the little bar down there on the bottom left. He's very close to having V reversal, and it might have been that Olivo thought that he had it, but I wonder, because it's something I've thought about, I wonder if he did forward plus 3 punches, and then mashed, just in case it was not a V reversal. Now, I mean, there's more than one way to not get a V reversal, right? It might just be that the opponent didn't press a button at all, and that you're not in block stun at all, right? We've all been in that situation. So that might be what he's doing here, and I really like that idea. Or maybe he just called out the super sick moment. I don't know. So look, again, nobody beats G that badly. You just can't. This is here, and he's, at all times when that red bars are going, he's 2 hits away from taking the round. At all times. And the second hit needs to come. There you go. That's it. So you just can't say that he loses anybody badly. What is that symbol above G's third meter? Oh, yeah, that's the presidentiality level. So when it starts here, it's just a globe, and then it starts to freak out a little bit as he gets more levels. And when he's in V-Trigger, it has this extra one where it's like shining. But when you're playing against G, you know that, I mean, at any time he could win, right? So I don't view this as being demoralizing or anything. It's like, look, if you're playing Marvel 3 and the opponent's got Virgil on anchor, like, you just have to budget mentally for sometimes when you're just going to get dunked. And as long as you have it in mind that you did most of the things right, and then you just have to, like, manage the mix-ups, and sometimes you won't get it right, and don't feel bad about that, right? Just think, next time I'll try to manage them better. That's all. But it's not something that you can ever feel secure about. And so I don't think that there's any sense feeling when you lose like you've lost something that was your fault, really. I mean, there are things that are your fault for losing to, right? But just straight up, like, does he do a command grab here or a hit here? It's not something you can be mad about. It's something you can learn from. Maybe you do better. Maybe you get a better read on the opponent. But it's not something that I think that you can be like, it can't tilt you. It shouldn't tilt you, I feel. I have been a little bit surprised at how rarely Olivo's charged up V-skill too. Ooh, and he didn't do quick rise? Oh no. Oh, that sucks. Oh, you're punished for sure. Only, that could have been EX. Come on, Olivo. Oh, what a jump timing. Dang. Oh, he still has V-Trigger too. Dude, he's dangerous. Oh, if he finds the right hit right now, this is not quite V-Trigger comeback potential, but this is pretty good. Oh, it's not gonna happen. Is this over? Yeah. Oh no! And not punished, and well, okay. You gotta stand short to punish that. Alright, let's go back here. So let's talk a little bit about what Olivo does and does not do in this round. The things that I think, again, G can't deal with. EX butt slam, hands, neutral jump fierce. Like, there's some stuff that I think is tough. Okay, I definitely like getting V-skill 2 up, for sure. Ooh, man, missed the anti-air, right? So, alright, that's an error. No quick rise, error. This is just a mix-up, whatever, you'll get it right sometimes, no big deal. There it is. Yeah, didn't get the right combo here. That could have been EX hands into stand short medium headbutt. That's a knockdown and like 300 damage. And yeah, I like that. I like that. But what I'm a little surprised about is that I see a lot of Olivo sitting down and trying to walk in for the forward roundhouse. At this range, all right, I'm just going to keep harping on this. At this range, G can't deal with EX butt slam. He's just super stuck. He's too tall. He doesn't have anything that he can do on reaction to it. He has to make a bet by doing like preemptive V skill or like preemptive back fierce or back dashing or something like that. And he's not doing any of those things, which are not great. So I understand why he's not doing them. But I'm surprised to see Olivo go in and try to go for forward roundhouse, because the thing that is good in that situation is, and here too, I would have 100% held down back and do EX butt slam. Here as well. After throat deck, I do it a lot. Wow, what a roundhouse though. There it is, right? Okay, cool. Why not again? And then not punished. So I think that there were quite a few things in there that Olivo could have done that we did not see. That I would like to see more of. I liked some of what Mono was doing, you know, to do stand medium kick. That's basically G's best footsie tool, so I like that. It's a way to shut things down. I do think that jumping forward is important versus Honda, especially when Honda has... If Honda has V-Skill 2 loaded, that means that he can cancel any button into hands. And he can't normally cancel forward roundhouse into hands. Let me see if we saw it here. We definitely saw him swing with forward roundhouse a couple of times. I think it was here. Yeah. So that button not normally cancelable, but it is into hands if you have V-Skill 2 loaded. And when Hondas have V-Skill 2 loaded, they like to do that because that means that you can be at half screen and then do forward roundhouse into hands, and you can be +1 on a tight block string, or you can do a block string that leaves you safe, but that will beat 3-frame buttons with if you do fierce hands instead of strong hands. So it's very tempting. It's very, very tempting as a Honda player to want to do forward roundhouse too much. And so I like the idea that Mono jumps in, expecting that Olivo is going to be like, look, I got to get the forward roundhouse. This is the party starter. The thing is, the party starter, sure, is forward roundhouse, but the party starter also is EX butt slam. And so, you know, Olivo is a good player and just sort of probably expected that Mono would look for EX butt slam, and so Mono would stay still on the ground, and that therefore, if the opponent's going to stay on the ground, maybe you just do forward roundhouse to get the party started. But you have these two party starters, and I think we didn't see enough of one of them. That's all. Mono with his Bison hat. He always wears it, even though he doesn't play Bison very often anymore. He did play Bison in this tournament, for sure. Just he plays... He's been playing Fang. I don't know. What can you say? Ooh, he pressed buttons there? Dang, oh man. What a wild man. So Honda can't just do V-Skill for free. Oh, punish. Yeah, cool. Activate? I'm surprised. So Honda... I don't know. I guess my style of Honda is I take V-Skill 2 whenever I can. But that's not Olivo's style. He likes the pressure, it looks like. A Fang hat. They should. Why doesn't he have a Fang hat, actually? That's a great question. Oh, dude. Okay, this is Mono beating Olivo right now. Dang. Okay. Dude. EX, thank you. That's fantastic. You should win this round. G doesn't have V-trigger anymore. It should be yours. Oh, he did it. What a wild guy. Oh, hey, kitty cat. Is that enough? No. Yeah, not. Okay. 1 sec. Let me fix the lighting in here real fast as my cat just walked into the room. Yoink. Alright, buddy. Alright, so I didn't actually watch the end there because I got catted. What happened here? He just did super? Oh, he did wake up super. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And that's an easy punish. Are you out here already? I can't believe it. Alright, let's watch this one again. So this is a round in which G did a V reversal. It was early enough that he could still build another one, but man, I tell you, like whenever I see that, I'm super stoked. But Mono did a bunch of different little buttons in here. Again, he knows the matchup quite well, but he also knows Olivo very well. The dash. The dash is an attempt to get pressure. And what it mostly is I mean, this is the way I use it. When I'm playing against people who know my matchup very well, my Honda and my personal matchup very well, sometimes when I do headbutt on them, they will do quick rise into punish. If I do V-Skill 2, right? That's the intention. So if I get a headbutt, oftentimes I'll charge up V-Skill 2, and the opponent will oftentimes back roll on wake up, and that means that my V-Skill 2 charge up is safe. But instead, if they do quick rise into G can do dash punch, then he can punish V-Skill 2 activation. However, if I think that the opponent's going to do a quick rise, I can dash forward as Honda and get pressure. So the mix-up is about like whether the opponent thinks I'm going to do V-skill 2, whether the opponent thinks I'm going to dash, right? And this might have just been that situation where Olivo was hoping that Mono would stay still, and Mono did back roll, maybe. But I gotta tell you, I really like V-skill 2 charging whenever I can. So this too is definitely Mono just knowing Olivo. It's not a character matchup thing, that's definitely a player matchup to do button after the opponent's done their big time advantaged V-trigger activation, yeah. Oof. Dude, I'm so happy to see that. If that ever happens to me. G does V reversal? Oh boy. That one, I'm not sure why he held back. You can control where EX butt slam goes, and that's not... It's not great. Oh yeah, okay, and here you go. So, wake up reversal. And that's an easy punish, you just hold up forward. As soon as you block that thing, just hold up forward. And whenever block stun ends, you will jump. So 1-1. By the way, first to 3 set, I believe. Ooh, boy, that was a lucky one for Olivo there. What a great read by Mono on timing. Oh, here you go, this is big. No! Dude, I'm telling you, whenever I have bar in this matchup, I'm doing EX butt. Yes, just do it. There it is, that's what I like. Oh yeah, this is a big whip punish. No, bummer. But now it's time to sit. Yeah. Okay, yeah, the jumping. Really? Okay, wow. Anti-air? Oh, you might have died. It's very possible. Oh yeah. Plus. What? He did. I don't know who's gonna take this round. This is very doable. Oh no, okay. V-trigger's over. Which means you go back to the old faithful. And now if Mono does a fireball from this range, this is a punish with V-trigger 1 headbutt. What? No, that's, yeah, you can't jump back. Alright, there you go. Okay. Hugo Savinovich. Killing it. You know, I was curious. I looked it up where his family name comes from, because that's not a very common name for people in Puerto Rico. And it turns out that his great-great-grandfather immigrated there from Dubrovnik in Croatia. That's where part of my family's from. So maybe Hugo Savinovich and I are related 200 years ago. I don't know. It's really funny seeing his choices of when to commentate and what to say. It's cool. Oh, that's a great whip punish, yeah. Now, there are definitely times, this happens for sure, where you're too far away on the forward roundhouse, especially if you do it into strong hands. Again, strong hands, it was strong hand or was it fierce actually? It might have been fierce. Which one did he do? Yeah, okay, it was strong hands. So strong hands sometimes doesn't move far enough forward to link out of. Sometimes that's super fierce too, but you gotta be super far away for that to happen. So if you're trying to whiff punish, then you do fierce hands. He might have just, you know, this might not be an intentional whiff punish here. This might be Olivo thinking like, well, I just wanna do forward roundhouse right now, and so I'm gonna do it into my +1 thing, right? But just didn't expect that Mono would whiff a button there. That happens to me too. So in that situation, he doesn't get a combo. What that does mean, though, is that he can continue the pressure. So what I often do in that situation, if I'm worried that the hands are going to whiff, is I'll do jab hands, which is 7 frames, beats most stuff. Sometimes I'll do crouching jab into hands, this is just a way to make sure that the opponent can't do anything first. There's definitely stuff you can do, and he didn't really take advantage of it, I think, as well as he could. If that had been EX hands. Oh, man. That anti-air. I really think you got to do nothing. Wow, I can't believe he threw. I can't believe he threw there. Dude. Well, so I mentioned that once V-Trigger's over, if Honda outranges G's Fireball, which is, here, well, okay, EX Butt Slam, but it's about that same range, about half screen, he can actually punish the Fireball with V-Trigger 1. Not that V-Trigger 1 is projectile invulnerable, it's just that it moves so fast that you can actually get past, so the Fireball ends, right? It's over. G still has some frames of being punishable. And almost nobody in the game can easily punish that, but Honda actually can with V-Trigger 1. So in this situation, I'm a little surprised to see Olivo do this, because, ooh boy, I mean, it works. It worked. But I was a little surprised to see him give it up. When Honda's charging for V-Trigger 1, the opponent is stuck in proximity guard. Let's see, yeah, here it is. What that means is that if you try to hold backwards as the opponent, you'll be placed into a blocking animation instead, and you're frozen. You can still move by jumping or dashing, but trying to walk backwards won't work. And so yeah, as you can see, from really far, from like half screen, Honda puts the opponent into proximity guard, which is definitely good, because it forces a different kind of movement. Now, the opponent can just do jump forward against this. It's usually the better way to go, rather than jumping back. But yeah, he puts the opponent into proximity guard from pretty far away. Yeah, Sniffles, I walk forward a lot with it too. And I do some of this sometimes. I mean, I don't want to criticize Olivo too much, because I too will sometimes just do V-Trigger, right? Because what Mono was just doing, people will not often just walk backwards and hold down back. Usually not. Sometimes, people like to do the little walk back and forth dance that you do in footsies, and this is exactly what Mono's doing. And I find that it's very rare, even offline, that even strong players react to V-Trigger 1 headbutt by blocking. If they've decided, now's the time when I wiggle forward in my little footsies dance. If you time it right, and you just guess right, then you can V-Trigger 1 headbutt them right there. So I do it too. But charging is not going to be why that works. I mean, again, this is, Olivo takes the round, but anyway. I like holding on to V-Trigger 1, I think, especially in some matchups like G, where it's very useful for punishing. So, it's now 2-1 for Olivo over Mono. Mono's G didn't work out. His character he's been picking up a lot. What does he do? Look at his little expression there on Mono on the left with the hat. Oh, Olivo, you don't even know what's coming. Look at that little smile. Look at that smile there. He's trying to hold it back. Do you see that? He's covering his face right there. People do that because they think that something's funny, and they don't want to show their smile to the opponent. Well, just pick Fang. You're definitely going Fang. I haven't watched this, but I am sure he's playing Fang. And why Fang? So I mentioned earlier that I think that Honda does well versus most zoners in this game. Not that zoners in this game are very many, and they're not as powerful as some game zoners for sure. Yeah, it's Fang. But Fang is a zoning match that beats Honda. I think. And it's one of the few matchups where I feel that, some of my most important tools are maybe obsoleted by Fang, or certainly countered by him. So tools like using forward roundhouse as a way to approach. Well, there's usually a poison cloud, or the mine, or the Rio Bendo, whatever you want to call it, on the ground, so you can't just walk in and do that stuff. Butt Slam is preempted by up balls and by the poison cloud. They're both oftentimes hanging out in front of Fang, and so you can't do EX Butt Slam in the same way. You can't do regular Butt Slam in the same way. You can't punish him for doing Rio Benda with EX Headbutt unless you're too close for him to bother doing Rio Benda, right? If you're closer, he just wouldn't do it. But if you're at range, he puts it out, and now your approach tools just don't really work. And you can't safely do V-Skill 2 either, because he will oftentimes throw out the fierce and strong up balls, and those will both you know, punish you for having done the activation, and Honda doesn't get the V-skill activation if he gets hit midway through it. So a lot of your typical stuff just doesn't work that well. And then when you have V-trigger 1, which is what I tend to use, I think I personally, it's what I prefer. What I use it for oftentimes is for punishing people trying to jump away, especially characters with floaty jumps. Like if Chun jumps away, then I think on reaction it's pretty easy to do V-trigger 1 to punish her for jumping away. At worst you'll trade, which is good, because then you get a knockdown and you're closer. But Fang can do his float from even jumping backwards. I think, is he the only character who can do an air action while jumping backwards? He might be. I don't remember if there may be one other, but in general that's not available. Well, I guess also Manat can do drills, but in general that's not true. So Fang can do jump back and actually then float over your V-trigger 1. So that use of it is not there. Fang's pressure is hard for Honda to deal with because Honda doesn't have any fast buttons. So there's all these little things that I think are tough about this matchup. Can you V-skill 1 clap the up balls? I mean, yeah, it's possible. It's just, I think it's hard to time, and there's better stuff to be doing, and Fang can counter that anyway if he does the rush punch sleeve. You actually cannot V-skill 1 clap the mine, the Ryobenda. You can't, unfortunately. All right, well, let's see how this plays out. So again, these guys are close training partners. They play this matchup all the time. I recently played Mono online, and granted it was online on PlayStation 4. I'm in California. He's in Puerto Rico. Right? It's pretty far. Not the best connection. But I think that I got like enough sense of what the matchup is like versus the top-level Fang. There are things I could have done better, definitely, but still, it seems tough. So I'm curious about how Olivo approaches this in a match like this, because he knows how to play against Fang so much better. Knows so much more about the match. Yeah, that mine, dude. Tried to backdash. Oh, you're in trouble. Yeah. Dang, crouching strong right there. Oh, cross up. Yeah, that's even if you know the setup, which I'm sure Olivo does. It's still hard to block. Yeah. I think Fang does like 10 more damage on that combo now that they let the second hit of stand medium kick be cancelable. I think that actually might have been why that won. So let's watch this round over again. So, from far away, right, V-skill 2, okay. But like I said, as soon as Honda, it's not just about being zoned out in this matchup. It's about the fact that Honda doesn't have 3-frame buttons, and in a way, he doesn't really even have a 4-frame button because stand short and crouching short are so short range. So he's in a bad shape when the opponent is in pressure like this. And then it's, yeah, you know, it's just he's looking for the moment to get out and just pick the wrong one. So good job by Mono. It's definitely an easier match. He's also been playing Fang for 5 years, so he knows the character even better than G, of course. Are you serious? On reaction? Alright, well, I'll let this play. Let's try. I'm supposed to do that now, but that is incredible. On reaction, EX to get out. That's wild. What? He did jab? I can't believe it. See what I mean right there? That mind beating forward roundhouse. Just typical Honda stuff just doesn't really work that well. And then no button from Olivo either? Here it is. Yes. Oh, that was... Oh, I thought he got the whiff punish. Now, he didn't pressure that hard. I'll talk about why in just a sec. Is that death? Maybe. No, not quite. Yeah, there you go. Well, that was quite a couple of rounds there from Mono. So let's go back and watch this again. So this is incredible, okay? The reaction to do this. It must be that he's buffering EX every time. Of course, Fang can cancel up balls into EX command dash. He's just looking to react. Wow, that's so hard. You have to do that so quickly. Here it is. And then the jab. So again, this is not just Fang versus Honda. Of course, this is Mono versus Olivo. And Mono knows Olivo, they know each other, and that wake-up jab is not something I think he would do against many people, but he just had a read on Olivo's timing, and he was right. Yeah, trying to get through that mine. And you see Olivo falling into the trap that, as I said, many of us do as Honda players, of trying to do forward roundhouse too often. And getting hit by, I think it was... He got hit by the Rio Benda, and then he got hit by, I think, crouching strong? It was a combo. Oh, and then by the EX sleeve, of course, yeah. There you go, yeah. Pressure. Okay, so... It's not very strong hands pressure, right? We saw what happened against G and how often Olivo was just pumping hands back and forth, right? Not here. Why not? Fang's V-trigger is not as important to him as G's is. It's pretty good. I think V-trigger 2 for Fang is a little underrated, but it's not as good certainly as G's is. So Fang is more okay with coming off V-meter. On top of that, whereas G's V-reversal and most are just a knockdown. Fang's is to escape the corner, right? Like Fang does the little crab walk out. And in fact, if Fang does V-reversal against like a stand fierce that's canceled into fierce hands or crouching jab, whatever button that's canceled into fierce hands, Fang can actually get behind Honda and then punish him while hands are still going on. So that typical thing that Honda likes to do just doesn't work that well against Fang, and of course Olivo knows that. Almost there on that, but yeah, that is punishable. It's -7. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, again, a lot of the stuff that Honda likes to do just doesn't really work against Fang. Talking about, forward roundhouse, EX butt slam, headbutt, hands, all those things that are such Honda staples, I think just don't really work that well in this matchup. Yeah, it definitely really did help him out. People in the chat were talking about Olivo, whether he's a Honda loyalist. Nah, he's definitely not. He actually doesn't think Honda's very good. I think he does think that Honda does well versus G, but yeah, he doesn't think Honda's very good overall. So in that corner situation, the way that I approach it is I stick to jab hands, and then I stick to crouching strong and stand strong and sort of just buttons. Neutral jump fierce is a way to move forward. I think that there's still ways that Honda can be annoying in the corner. His grab range is super good. Just regular grab range, not even talking about Ocho. Very, very fast, very, very far grab range. And his walk forward speed is deceiving. It's better than you think it is. So I think that he still has more to do in the corner than just hands. He would rather do hands, certainly. EX butt slam as well. You know, that's something we didn't see there in the corner. Did he have bar? Actually, let me see. He might not have. He didn't. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. So I think there can be more in the corner in terms of pressure than we saw, but still, it's not going to be as compelling versus Fang as it is for other characters.